Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand?
But in the moonlight, you just shine like the beacon on the bay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we gather in a place that can barely contain the love that surrounds Kurt John Macpherson Marshall. On behalf of his cherished wife Courtney and adoring daughter Presley, his devoted mother Maxine, sister Abby, brother-in-law Reese and nephew Kobe, I welcome you to this celebration of a fabulous man. To those joining us via live stream, though we are separated by distance, we are united in something profound: love for Kurt and sorrow at his loss. And what a loss this is. Kurt was born in Launceston on the 21st of March 1989, the eldest son of Maxine and John and big brother to Abby. A life that began with such promise, and a life that has been taken so suddenly, so shockingly, and far too soon. Last Saturday began as a family day. Kurt, Courtney and their beautiful little girl Presley heading to Weymouth to choose a new puppy. It should have been a day of laughter, a day of excitement. Instead, in a moment that no one could have imagined, Kurt collapsed and was gone. There are simply no words that can make sense of that. No explanation that can steady the heart. No way to prepare for a goodbye that never came. And so today we do what we can. We gather, we grieve, we remember. And above all, we stand beside Courtney, beside little Presley, and beside Kurt's family, friends and workmates to say, you are not alone. Because Kurt was one of those people, one of those truly good blokes who left his mark on everyone he met. A man with a heart of gold, larger than life. A bit of a ratbag, a bit of a joker, but deeply, deeply caring. A man who loved people and was loved right back. I'd like to invite Courtney and Presley to come forward to light a candle for Kurt. This candle is a small flame, but it carries something immeasurable. It is a light of love, a love that does not end even now. It is a light of memory, of a life lived fully, of laughter in the shed with his mates, of family moments, of a little girl who brought out the very best in her dad. It is a light of presence, because although Kurt is no longer here in the way we long for, his love remains, his influence remains, his place in your lives remains. Courtney and Presley, as you light this candle, you light it with love for Kurt and with the knowledge that his love will always stay with you. Let's take a moment together. Before we go any further, it is important to acknowledge what is sitting in this space today. The shock, the heartbreak, the disbelief, the love. There is an intensity to this kind of loss that is hard to put into words, and in a moment like this, there is no right way to feel. For some, the tears will come easily. For others, they may not come at all. Some may feel numb, some overwhelmed, Some may even find themselves smiling at a memory or quietly laughing at something Kurt once said or did. And all of it is okay. Grief does not follow rules. It does not move in straight lines, and it looks different for every single person in this room. So however you are feeling right now, whether it is sadness, anger, confusion, warmth, gratitude, please know that every feeling is valid. It is yours, and it is enough. Kurt was a man who filled spaces with life, with laughter, with presence, with energy. And today, in his absence, we feel that just as strongly. So let us take a quiet moment now to sit with whatever is in your hearts and perhaps to bring to mind a memory of Kurt. We now come to a time where we will hear more fully about Kurt's life. As many of you will know, Kurt wasn't a man who sought attention. He was humble, not big on words spoken out loud. But those of you who knew him well knew this. If he put pen to paper, he had a way of expressing what truly mattered. Today, these words have been lovingly prepared by Courtney, his loving mother Maxine, his little sister Abby, his mate, someone who knew him from the very beginning. I invite Jessie Polk to come forward to deliver this eulogy. Thank you, Jessie.
Kurt John McPherson Marshall, born on the 21st of March 1989 in Launceston to his proud parents Maxine and John. From the very beginning, Kurt was full of energy, curiosity and just a little bit of mischief. He spent his early years in Marinda Drive before the family moved to the farm on Castro Road, a place that truly became Kurt's playground. The open space, the red mud, the freedom. It was everything a young boy could dream of. And when his little sister Abby came along, life only got bigger, louder, and just a little bit harder for Maxine to keep track of him. Kurt started school at Sprent Primary, where he met his lifelong mate, Aaron. Their friendship carried on as they moved together to Sacred Heart Primary School. It was there Kurt discovered soccer. Now, Kurt had no shortage of power. He could absolutely boot a ball, but where it ended up was anyone's guess. Still, that didn't matter. What mattered were the friendships he built and the memories that he created with the Forth boys. Kurt had a love for the water that stayed with him throughout his life. He joined the Ulverston Surf Club through surf lifesaving, though it's fair to say he was there more for the social side than the competition. Whether it was taking Abby and his cousin Yona along or just enjoying the company, Kurt made every moment count. At Ulverston High School, Kurt became known as the class clown. Schoolwork might not have been his passion, but sport, mateship, and living life certainly were. It was during these years that he found his love for skateboarding, spending countless hours at the skate park, cruising the streets, and, as many would remember, stirring up a little bit of harmless trouble along the way. Later, Kurt reconnected with the ocean through bodyboarding. With his long, scruffy hair rarely dry, he travelled chasing waves, embracing the freedom he loved so much, and living life on his own terms. And then there were the motorbikes. From the moment he could reach the throttle, Kurt was hooked. There was nothing he loved more than tearing across the paddocks at full speed until John would step in and put a stop to it. The farm became his training ground, where, under John's guidance, Kurt learnt to drive long before most of the kids his age. He learnt how to handle a car, push limits, and yes, spin a few donuts and lay down burnouts, much to Maxine's horror. After finishing school, Kurt began his apprenticeship with Van Eck Contracting, stepping into the next chapter of his life with the same energy and determination that he brought to everything he did. He quickly learnt respect and work ethic from the older crew, and I'm sure there are a few here today who could share a story or two over a beer later. Kurt continued working in the construction industry where his loyalty remained strong, especially with what many of us knew as Van Eck and now Hazel Brothers. Eventually, Kurt spread his wings, leaving the family farm to move to Turner's Beach with a couple of mates. And oh boy, they made their mark, eventually being evicted. John was adamant that Kurt was not coming back home, but as we all know, that didn't quite last. With the help of Maxine and John, Kurt secured his first home, and before long, he was back on the farm for 12 months while they all worked tirelessly to renovate it and make it his own. And now this is where things get a bit interesting, because this is where Kurt had to grow up, just a little, to catch the woman of his dreams. Courtney describes Kurt as being like trying to catch a fish down the Arthur River. Slow, frustrating, and not always easy. But also like one of those fish you catch and release, only for it to come swimming straight back. Kurt let his catch go when Courtney moved to Queensland, but after just 2 days, he was already casting the line back out, trying to reel her home. Courtney made him wait 3 months to prove that he was serious, and when she finally returned, Kurt, well, he changed his mind after a week. You'd think that would be the end of this love story, but 18 months later, Kurt threw one final cast. This time he meant it. Tight lines. Hook, line, and sinker. It worked. Kurt's home quickly became a drop-in centre for mates and family. Just when Court thought she'd learnt everyone's names, she realised that they all had multiple nicknames, some more creative than others. Kurt himself had plenty. Pooner, Poons, Poon Daddy, Big Popper, Mel Gibber to her one-time son, Hire a Hubby, Courtney, Uncle Fergo, Daddy Kurt, just to name a few. Together, Kurt and Courtney made their first big commitment after 2 years, welcoming their fur baby, Ziggy. The best way to describe her is a cute little sass queen. For a good 10 years, she certainly gave Kurt a run for his money, though in her most recent years, she softened, showing him much more love and affection. Kurt lost a piece of his heart when he lost his dad. When John passed away unexpectedly. And in that time, he leaned on his father-in-law, Gary, who supported him through renovations and life, forming a special bond that would last forever. Not long after, Sarge came into their lives, filling a space in Kurt's heart in a way that only a loyal dog can. Sargie became his best mate in a fur coat, joining him on countless adventures around Tassie. Then came a Christmas gift from Courtney, a trip to New Zealand in a camper van. What Courts didn't know was that Kurt had planned to propose on the Milford Sounds cruise, only to accidentally ask her to be his husband. A moment that he never lived down, and one that Courtney made sure to remind him of, especially whenever there was an audience. It's now just been live streamed, so sorry, pal. Head down, bum up, Kurt and Courtney got stuck into renovating again, turning the man cave into a beautiful family home, one room at a time. Courtney kept Kurt on his toes with her ever-changing ideas, moving walls, changing doorways, then putting them back again. There were plenty of choice words from Kurt, but in the end, he always came around, appreciating the end result he worked so hard for. Then came the wedding bells. Kurt and Courtney planned one big party, and that's exactly what it was. A perfect day, surrounded by the people who mattered most. Kurt surprised Courtney by wanting to write his own vows, sharing the most heartfelt words that she had ever heard, words that meant everything to her. His 6 groomsmen stood beside him that day, and they stand with him again today, laying him to rest. The arrival of Presley was the proudest day of Kurt's life. He dove straight into fatherhood, holding her for the first time he'd ever held a baby, changing her first nappy, and becoming a hands-on dad from day one. And hands-on was an understatement. When Prez was only 14 weeks old, Courts decided that it was the perfect time to make a comeback to basketball after 10 long years, only to break her leg just 2 minutes into the first game. Once again, Kurt stepped up, quickly learning how to juggle everything, including living in a house full of girls, Courtney, Presley, and now his mother-in-law, Carol, who had moved in for 4 months. And then came another challenge, Presley's hip dysplasia, at 6 months old, wearing a brace alongside her mum for 8 months. Through it all, Kurt just kept showing up. Eventually, Courtney insisted her brace come off so that they could head off on their first family trip to Karratha, something that became a yearly tradition. Karratha was everything that Kurt loved. Fishing, crabbing, Prez can skate on rollerblades now, so it's an important moment. Karratha was everything that Kurt loved. Fishing, crabbing, warm weather, and making memories as a family. One of Kurt's proudest moments was taking Presley out on the boat over Christmas, helping her reel in her very first fish, alongside brother-in-law Matt and niece Harper. It was always a dream of Kurt and Courtney's to give Presley a sibling, something that she so dearly wanted. Tragically, they recently endured a miscarriage at 12 weeks, followed by another devastating loss for the family, their big boy Saji. The house felt empty. But in true Kurt fashion, he threw himself into finding the perfect new companion for the family. After plenty of research, he found a litter of Cane Corso Mastiffs, and after meeting them, knowing their gentle nature, they knew they had found the right fit. Kurt lived life the only way that he knew how, full throttle, with a big heart, a cheeky grin, and surrounded always by the people that he loved the most. He was a son, a son-in-law, a brother, a brother-in-law, a mate, a husband, and the proudest dad. And in every one of those roles, he gave it everything he had. The memories that he's left behind, the laughter, the stories, the adventures, they will live on in all of us, and especially in Prez, who will grow up knowing just how incredible her dad truly was. Though he has been taken far too soon, Kurt's spirit will never leave us. It's in the ocean, in a good yarn with mates, and in every moment that we choose to live life a little more freely, just like he did. Rest easy, Kurt. You will always be loved, and you will never be forgotten.
Thank you, Jessie. We now hear from those who knew Kurt through his work and daily life. Kurt was a man with an incredible work ethic, someone who couldn't sit still, who gave his all to whatever he did. I've been told that at Hazel Brothers he was more than a colleague. He was a mate, a mentor, a second dad to many of the apprentices he took under his wing. He might have been a bit tough on them at times, but if he saw something in you, he backed you, he supported you, and he made sure you knew that you mattered. A tribute has been written by his cousin Yona Danam, and I invite him to come forward.
Hello. All right. I've been trying to find the right way to talk about Kurt. And for me it all starts with the memories. Oh, shit. It all starts with the memories we shared growing up. The days we spent together as kids were some of the best. Oh, fuck, I don't even do that.
It's okay.
You do it.
Okay. I'll start from the beginning. Yeah. I've been trying to find the right way to talk about Kurt, and for me it all starts with the memories we shared growing up. The days we spent together as kids were some of the best of my life, from fighting over which colour cup we got at dinner, each tied to a different Power Ranger, to arguing over which Angry Beaver's character we were. You always had the best story as to why your choice was the right one. You were my cousin, but really you were like a brother to me. You showed me how to live life a little more on the edge, step by step. Whether that was watching Jackass, then trying to outdo it with the biggest jumps we could build on your backyard BMX track, or climbing into the highest trees and launching ourselves out over nothing but branches and a 2-inch foam mattress on the ground. The more dangerous or painful it was, the harder we laughed. I'll never forget the day you swallowed Maxine's precious gemstone. Abby and I were arguing over whose it was, and then you grabbed it, swallowed it, and said, "It's mine now." Abby and I were startled, and then Maxine made you poo in them. Oops. Would have been good to pre-read. Abby and I were startled, and then Maxine made you poo in a bucket for 4 days until you found it. You certainly were one of a kind. Whew. Oh, the vision. Never lose that. Your love of bodyboarding was something else. I reckon you knew every wave that existed and had some wisdom to share about them all. I'll never forget the East Coast surf trip when we were in our teens. We hiked across Perrin Dunes to that pipeline like left, and all watched you get deep in the barrel and come flying out. One of the best, most memorable surfs ever with the best group. You were one of a kind, mate. An absolute legend. Someone you could always count on. Someone who had your back. Someone who went out of your way to look after your family and friends. And that's your legacy. The way you showed up for people, the way you made life more fun, the way you reminded all of us what it means to be a good mate. I've got so much respect for you. And I know you'll live on in all of us who were lucky enough to call you a mate. Fly high, brother. You will be missed until we meet again. Thank you, Yona. Beautiful words, Yona. Another tribute has been written by one of Kurt's mates on behalf of many mates, and I call on Joe to deliver this one.
We'll see if we can keep it together. Cheers, please. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Joe, and I'm speaking today on behalf of a group of guys that were very lucky to have called Kurt our best mate. And honestly, we were very lucky. There's a lot you could do, there's a lot you could say about Kurt, but words that kept coming up again and again are things like loyal, caring, funny, and quick-witted. But more than anything, he was generally a good human. Kurt was never the loudest guy in the room, never chasing attention, and somehow he was always the centre of everything that mattered. He was the glue, the rock, the one who brought everyone together. He had this way about him, laid back, easygoing, but underneath he was someone who paid attention, who knew when to throw the razor-sharp one-liners that could have you in stitches, and he knew just as well when to drop the banter, check in, and be there when you needed it. And he was funny, properly funny. Not just in the big moments, but in the little ones, the quiet comments, the looks, the timing. Half the time, it wasn't even what he said, it was how he said it. We'll never forget the laugh either. The head tilted back, proper belly laugh, the kind that made you laugh harder just from hearing it. Kurt had his own language, his own sayings, like cretin or Mel gibber to her son, things that only made sense if you knew him. And to be honest, I still can't make sense of them myself. And even his texts, spelling mistakes everywhere, not a single bit of punctuation, but straight to the point, like everything else he did. There are so many memories, surf trips up and down the coast, sleeping in cars wherever we pulled up, and talking shit when we were younger. Then fishing, diving, camping, just being together with our families and each other when we were older. There are so many memories. Oh, sorry, Jesus. And that's the thing. It didn't even have to be anything big. Some of the best moments were just sitting around, having a coffee or a beer and shooting shit for hours. That was Kurt. He made the ordinary feel special. There are a few moments that really sum him up. Like the time he tried to pull a Happy Gilmore at Harry's Bucks and snap 2 drivers in the process. Or casually helping himself to a snack at our neighbour's house after we'd had a housewarming party. Somehow coming home with a few cartons of V-cans and standing there like it was the most normal thing in the world. 2 weeks later, they moved out and our TV got stolen. So that was expensive few cartons they turned out to be. He had a bit of a short fuse every now and then, especially at work. But more often than not, it was directed at himself and he'd be the first one laughing about it 5 minutes later. That was Kurt. He never took himself too seriously. But what really stands out, what we carry with us all, is the kind of mate he was. Excuse me. He was always there, always up for a chat, always made you feel welcome. Whether you'd known him for years or just met him, he had the way of understanding people, of making them feel seen. He'd check in when you needed it, even if you hadn't said a word. And no matter what was going on in life, he always made time. Time for a coffee, time for a beer, time for his mates. And that's something he's taught all of us. That no matter how busy life gets, there's always time for people who matter. But above all else, Kurt's world was his family. Courtney and Presley, you were everything to him. The way he spoke about you, the way he showed up for you, it was love in its purest form. You could see everything he did. That sense of home, of care, of safety he created for you. And we all felt that too. Being around Kurt, your home, it felt like belonging. He brought people together. He made life lighter. He reminded us not to take things too seriously, to laugh more, to be kinder, to look after each other. There never was and never will be another mate like him. Kurt, mate, we're going to miss you more than words can say. But we'll carry you with us in every laugh, every story, every fish, every catch-up. And we'll keep doing what you always did best, looking after each other, and of course, Courts and Prez, we will always be there for you. Don't be strangers, and rest easy, Poona.
Well done, Joe. What an amazing mate Kurt was to so many of you. The final tribute this afternoon is from Courtney, and I am honoured to present it on her behalf. Courtney has written, Kurt, I know I could be angry at you for leaving us, but I know it's something you would never have done if you could have helped it. You were there for us until the very last moment, and I will forever be grateful for your love and for giving me the greatest gift I could ever ask for. You not only gave me Presley, but you also gave me a wonderful mother-in-law and sister-in-law, people I will continue to love and make memories with in honour of you. You put your absolute blood, sweat and tears into the house you made our forever home. You always had some great project for your next little hobby that I would roll my eyes at, but somehow you would always prove me wrong. You set us up to have a beautiful life, and I'm so proud you won't, and I'm so sad you won't be here to share that journey with us. We love you with all our hearts, and I wish I had told you that more often. I know you will look after Presley and me, just as you always have, because that's who you are. Please hold my hand and don't let go. Help guide me as I raise our little girl the way I know you would have. You've given us the most beautiful memories to hold on to forever, and that's what will carry us through. And just remember, as Presley always tells us, it's okay. Happy tears. Now you rest easy up there with Sarge and John. We will always be looking for the brightest star in the sky. We love you endlessly, and I don't think you realised just how much everyone else loves you too. So until we meet again, love Courts, Presley and Ziggy. And Courtney finishes with a quote. The risk of love is loss, and the price of loss is grief. But the pain of grief is only a shadow compared to the pain of ever risking love. Thank you, Courtney. Our hearts ache for you. Photographs are a great way to follow someone's life, and we now have the honour of viewing those chosen by his family. In these images, you will see a young man who truly lived, a boy from Ulverston who grew into a man of strong values shaped by his dad, John, a man he loved deeply and whose legacy Kurt honoured every day. You will see Kurt the family man, the one who built a home, quite literally, working alongside his dad, and after his dad's passing, finishing that home in his honour. You'll see Kurt and Courtney, a love story that began 13 years ago. You'll see Kurt as a proud dad to Presley, his beautiful girl, born in 2021, who softened him, grounded him, and became his whole world. You'll see that mate that we've just heard about, the one whose shed was always open, whose home was the drop-in centre, whose laughter filled a room. The proud owner of Big Red, his beloved 80 Series Land Cruiser. The fisherman, the surf club member, the mighty Essendon supporter, through thick and thin. The bloke who loved a beer, a joke, a stir, but who would always show up when it mattered. As you watch now, remember this. These are not just photos. These are moments of love. Moments that still live on in each one of you.
Hello, Dan. It's Joe here. I hope you're keeping well. It's the 21st of December. Now they're ringing the last bell. If I get good behavior, I'll be out of here by July. Won't you kiss my kids on Christmas Day? Please don't let them cry for me. I guess the Others are driving down from Queensland, and Stella's flying in from the coast. They say it's gonna be 100 degrees, even more maybe, but that won't stop the road. Who's gonna make the gravy now? I bet it won't taste the same. Just that flour, salt, a little red wine. Don't forget $1 for tomato sauce for sweetness and that extra tang. And give my love to Angus and to Frank and Dolly. Tell them all I'm sorry, I screwed up this time. And look after Rita, I'll be thinking of her early Christmas morning when I'm standing in line. I hear Mary's got a new boyfriend. I hope he can hold his own. Do you remember the last one? What was his name again? Just a little too much cologne. And Roger, you know I'm even gonna miss Roger, 'cause there's sure as hell no one in here I wanna fight. I'll pray to baby Jesus, have a Merry Christmas. I'm really gonna miss it, all the treasure and the trash. Later in the evening, I can just imagine you put on Junior Murphy and push the tables back, and you dance with Rita. I know you really like her, just don't hold her too close. Oh brother, please don't stab me in the back. I didn't mean to say that, it's just a mind your blazer. Mama told me when I was young, and sat beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Well, take your time, don't live too fast. Troubles will come, they will pass. We'll find a woman, yeah, and you'll find love. And don't forget, son, there is someone up above. And be a simple kind of man, or be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Get your lust for the rich man's gold. All that you need is in your soul. And you can do this, baby, if you try. All that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple.
I think we saw it all. Such beautiful, beautiful memories. There's something especially hard about losing someone like Kurt. Someone so full of life. Someone so woven into the fabric of so many lives. A man who loved deeply. He loved Courtney so deeply he could not imagine life without her. Presley, his pride and joy. His mum Maxine and his sister Abby. His extended family, especially Gary. His mates, his workmates, his community. And yet in all this grief we hold on to something important. Kurt's life is not defined by how it ended, but by how it was lived. And it was lived with heart, with loyalty, with laughter, with generosity, a lovable ratbag, a boy's boy, a family man, gone fishing, tight lines. Courtney has chosen a beautiful poem by Christina Rossetti that I think sums up what Kurt would probably say to us. poem is called Miss Me, But Let Me Go. When I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? Miss me a little, but not for long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that once we shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all part of the master plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we know. Laugh at all the things we used to do. Miss me, but let me go. At this time, we acknowledge those who showed extraordinary kindness in the most unimaginable moment. These thank yous are written on behalf of Courtney. To the Weymouth community, we would like to extend a very special thank you from the bottom of our hearts to the Weymouth community for the way you came together to support Kurt, myself, and Presley on what was meant to be one of the happiest days of our lives, but became the worst. You took us in as if we were your own, surrounding us with care, compassion, and kindness in the moment that we needed it the most. We will be forever grateful for the love and support that you all showed us on that day. And a thank you to Hazel Brothers. With deep appreciation, I would like to extend a sincere and heartfelt thank you to Hazel Brothers and the entire team. The love, care, and ongoing support you have shown Presley and I mean more than words can ever truly express, and it's something I will be forever grateful for. I will always have comfort in remembering the work family you gave Kurt. It was clear how much he valued each and every one of you, not just as colleagues, but as true mates. That was evident in the way he was always inviting everyone, past and present workmates, back to the shed for a beer after work, keeping those connections strong. Thank you for being such an important part of Kurt's life and for continuing to surround us with kindness and support when we need it the most. Thank you, Courtney. And so now we come to the moment of farewell. I invite you, if you are able, to stand.
Do the rest of the hearse. We'll do the rest. Do the Camille at the hearse. Because we've got our speaker.
Okay.
So just say we'll reconvene at the hearse.
Okay,
This
so
is
we
lost
do.
battery.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do the rest of the committal at the hearse because the battery has gone flat and we have another speaker outside. So please bear with us.
Open for the best, but it's
This is the part we never want to reach. The moment where words feel too small, and yet they are all we have. Today we stand together not just in grief, but in respect, in love, and in gratitude for a life that has meant so much. Kurt was many things. A beloved son of Maxine and John, a dad's boy who carried his father's influence with him every day, and who honoured him by building a home, a life and a future. A brother to Abby, a protector, a mate, a constant presence from the very beginning. A partner to Courtney, a love built over 13 years, one neither of them could ever imagine living without. A dad to Presley, his greatest pride, his soft place, his world. A mate to so many, the one who opened his shed, who made space for others, who took people in, backed them and stood by them. A man who lived with his heart, who worked hard, who loved deeply, and who leaves behind a space that cannot be filled. So now, in sorrow, in this moment, we say what perhaps is the hardest thing of all. We say goodbye. Kurt John McPherson Marshall, you will be missed more than words can ever say. You will be carried in the hearts of those who love you every single day. In the quiet moments, in the loud ones, in the laughter of your mates, in the strength of your family, in the life and spirit of your little girl, you will be there. In every story told, every memory shared, every time your name is spoken. Your footprints are everywhere, in the home you built, in the people you shaped, in the love you gave so freely. And though this farewell feels final, what you have left behind is not. Because a life like yours does not simply disappear. It echoes. It remains. It lives on in those who carry you forward. So as we prepare to leave this place, it's important to say this again because it matters not just for today but for all the days that lie ahead. Grief does not end when we leave this place. It changes, it moves, it comes and goes, sometimes when we least expect it, sometimes when we do expect it. And just as there was no right way to feel at the beginning of this service, there is no right way to grieve in the days, weeks and months to come. There will be moments of There will be moments of deep sadness, moments where the loss feels as sharp as it does right now. But there will also be moments, perhaps unexpectedly, where a memory brings a smile, where a story brings laughter, where Kurt feels close again in the most ordinary of ways. Those moments are not something to feel guilty about. They are part of love. So be gentle with yourselves. Be patient with one another. Allow the tears when they come and allow the laughter when it finds its way through. Because both belong here. He will live on in the stories you tell, in the values he lived by, and in the way you look after each other, and most especially in the life of his beautiful daughter Presley. And in time, it will not always feel as heavy as it does today, because the love, that will remain. So now you are invited to place a fern and to raise your glass to the man you loved so deeply. A shot of his favourite rum. If you have one, let's all together unanimously say, cheers. Cheers.